Belle is the movie that sings to an artist's soul, but just misses the storyteller's heart. I left the movie theater with such a breath of inspiration and admiration, but at the same time, I left with such a pain in my heart because this movie was so close to greatness, but yet so far. Honestly, guys, I don't want to talk about this, but we have to. Now the movie begins in its typical Studio Chizu style. Sure, the movie begins off a bit slow, but personally I actually do enjoy this because it's a nice time to just take a breath from everything from your job to just simply get a brain massage and get soothed by the beautiful, gorgeous animation. Our protagonist, Suzu, is a very likable character right from the beginning. She's very quiet, she's very humble, and she does remind me a lot of the previous characters that we see in Studio Chizu movies, such as Wolf Children and Mirai. So her character brings a warmth of nostalgia. So where did it go wrong? So far we have a great character, beautiful animation. Well, it starts off on the wrong foot in the beginning because it sets up all these important symbolisms that really don't pay off later. You see, once Suzu gets into the virtual world, the movie hits the floor running, but not in the most graceful way. Since as soon as Suzu gets into the virtual world, she starts singing and attracting all these amazing people before she can even finish the tutorial. Like, geez girl, at least finish accepting the terms and conditions before you make your debut. And I don't have a problem with this, but they should have emphasized a better reason why she started singing in the first place. After all, she does have a trauma as to why she doesn't sing. But at this point of the movie, I will forgive it because the song and the virtual world's colors that we get in this scene are truly mesmerizing to the point I forgot this was even a Studio Chizu movie. Once Suzu finished her song and logged off, she became extremely famous overnight. It's like the Belle situation, but instead this time she actually got famous over her singing rather than her head bobbing. Around this point in the movie, if not a bit later, we're introduced to a total whopping 9 side characters. That's seriously a lot of characters, which would be impressive if this was a fighting game. But that's not the bad part. The bad part is that these characters serve almost no value to the movie and ends up taking away from Suzu's character building. And after all those scenes, you finally get to the part of the movie where the movie actually begins. And that's when the mysterious wolves interrupts Belle's concert, which was really interesting until the scene ended, because then Suzu and her best friend become obsessed with trying to figure out this mysterious figure's identity for no other good reason than because they just want to know. So then the movie takes us on a journey to try to figure out who this mysterious figure is. And I'm not going to go say who it was, but let's just say, guys, you guys are going to be very, very disappointed because any theories that you had or any speculation you were thinking about is going to be pointless. Now, I'll admit I might be misinterpreting this part, but I have to be honest with you, like, it just didn't hit a chord with me and it just felt really flat. Alright guys, I've been talking really bad about the movie, but let's talk about the good. And the good would be is that Suzu's character. Suzu's character was very charming, and seeing the contrast between Belle and Suzu, it was very amazing because we get to see a very shy girl who obviously has really bad deep trauma becoming this really confident character who has a beautiful voice. I mean, it's a tale as old as time, but it always works. So when we get scenes between Suzu and her best friend, trying to make Suzu a more confident person online and have her embrace her beautiful singing, it's when we get magical scenes as we got towards the end. And when this scene comes up on screen, you guys will definitely know what I'm talking about. Because for 5 minutes, guys, the movie enters a realm where art and the human soul connect. The animation, the music, for 5 minutes, you're no longer watching a movie anymore. You enter the artist's complete pure expression of love for the craft, ascending the upper limits of humanity's peak performance in film. And honestly guys, if I could experience this moment for the first time again, I would do anything to experience this scene again. And I know I might be overhyping this, but there is a reason why this movie got a 14-minute ovation, and I completely understand why now. And I will add that I got teary at the scene just because of how beautiful it was. This movie shines the brightest when it takes its time to focus at the center core of the story, which is Suzu facing her painful past. Had this movie kept its plot simple and stuck to a coming of age story, this movie could have easily have become one of the best anime movies that has ever been released. which really kills me inside. And I wish I was joking, guys, but no, guys, I'm being honest with you guys. It really hurts. I have not ever felt this much disappointment and heartbreak since Mexico got disqualified in the 2014 World Cup. And then the climax of the movie had me like,
oh no.
in the end, guys, I know the story may be weak and I didn't shine it in the best light, but I highly urge you guys to watch this movie in theaters, especially in IMAX, since this movie's soundtrack is one of the best we've ever received in anime history. So a movie like this must be experienced in theaters, because anything else would be such a disservice to yourself. If there's any time you wanted to trust me to see a movie, it would be this time, guys. There's a couple scenes that just make this movie entirely worth it. And with a heavy heart, I will give this movie a 7 as a critic, but as a Studio Chizu fanboy and a huge anime fan, it's an 8 in my heart. Although I assume many of you don't see it that way and probably see it lower, and honestly, that's fair. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is the part where I say, yeah, subscribe, and yes, please do subscribe, because it really does mean a lot for me. And the next video, we're going to talk about, can you attend an anime convention alone and still have fun?
I am ready.